Content, how to create content using AI, lead magnets. Content is still king. It really is. Why do we like content? Well, as Joe here says, I've just experienced something I thought was never possible. A personal inquiry from a top CEO. I'm so grateful for your help. I'm finally feeling like I am the prize. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is the wonderful thing about content. We use content at the tofu stage, at the top of the funnel, to build that trust. Then as people come into our world, we reframe the conversation toward outcomes, which is what your AWP is all about. Before we even get anywhere near introducing the transaction, the price, we need to build that trust. So here's a little bit of an intelligent outbound case study for the top of the funnel. Now, John came into our world, brand new business, had a vague idea about what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a trainer, a coach. He wanted to be able to share all his knowledge and expertise with a new generation of business owners. But his messaging was really all over the place, largely because he didn't have any target audience clarity. So one of the things that we helped John do is we helped him settle on his target audience being early stage startups. And we helped him come up with his AWP. You can see it here. It's a book of power up strategy call. In 45 minutes, we will work through a proven 5-part formula to identify the top opportunities for accelerating the progress of your new technology, product, or service. So if his target audience is startup, it's not, hey, let's catch up and explore ways that I might be able to advise you because I'm freaking awesome. It's why don't you book a 5-step strategy call? And the tool that we use to help John create this page is a tool called B2B Dash, because I believe that every business needs some sort of appointment booking tool to be able to book that meeting. It elevates the perceived value of you, helps you position you as the prize, and it's also a big time saver too. 5 steps strategy call for startups. He's going to help them identify the top opportunities for accelerating the progress of your new technology or product or service. What's really cool about John is that he came into our world, a vague idea about who his target audience was. He wanted to build something great. And rather than build a brand new website, create new business cards, spend, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 on a business that he didn't know whether it was going to work yet, he began to pull together a funnel. And I'm going to show you the ingredients. But the most joyous piece of the puzzle for me is when John sent me an SMS at about 8:48 p.m. at night. Now, guys and girls, I don't normally appreciate SMSs late at night. If it's after 5, I usually don't appreciate it at all. But this was cool because he wrote, she ordered. I'm like, what? Ordered what? Yeah, baby. Thanks. Couldn't have done it without you. She came from LinkedIn. It's been a rapid journey. 6 weeks? What's he talking about? Well, within a very short period of time, John got 73 leads via one of our strategies, our LinkedIn training strategy. He got 73 leads. He booked 12 meetings with very interested prospects. He very quickly closed 2 of those clients, sold his core product. And at the time of writing that testimonial, had 2 more decisions pending. He says, I did that in 2 weeks. He didn't do it in 2 weeks. He did it in about 6 weeks, maybe 8. But it took him about 4 to 6 weeks to get the foundation set up. And then wham, bam, shazam. To make that happen, John was able to pull together a mini funnel, a micro funnel, something that we teach in one of our training programs called The Recipe, which is about the top of the funnel, the tofu stage. And what you can see on the screen right now is a breakdown of the steps and stages in a typical client journey if we're going to automate this. What we see right here is that someone might see you on social media. We might see that we might do a little bit of search engine optimization. We might have an affiliate or a referral partner. We might spend some money on some ads. Might be our website that gets the eyeballs, that gets the traffic. In John's case, he focused on social media because he didn't yet have a website. He had no affiliates. He had no money. So that was the way he started. He pointed people to an opt-in gift, something that we call a lead capture gateway. It's where you combine a lead magnet plus a landing page. Maybe it's a light box on your website, but it's a place where people can get something of high perceived value to them. Then when they opt in to get that thing and they pay for it, They pay for it with the first name, last name, email address, and phone number. We can redirect them to a diagnostic. A little diagnostic to pre-qualify. Remember the funnel, attract the lead, pre-qualify, book the meeting. We collect the lead using a lead capture gateway. We pre-qualify the lead using a little thing called a diagnostic, which is like a quiz or a checklist or a triage form. And then if they're the right fit, we invite them to book an AWP with us. This is your ultimate online transaction. It's the final step in the journey. They book the AWP, which is an example of a UOT, an ultimate online transaction. And that's your mini funnel. As John says, 73 leads, 12 meetings booked, 2 sales of my call. Of course, there's another little piece of the puzzle here. If somebody opts in to get your gift, we might want to send them an email to deliver on the promise, send them a second email to tell our story, a third email to introduce what the offer is, the next step that we want them to do. And if they haven't yet booked the meeting, we can reintroduce the meeting, or we can invite them to complete the diagnostic. But I said a little bit earlier that B2B is a little bit complex. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit difficult. And one of those things is because it's high touch. I said before that Google came out with a whole bunch of statistics, and Google found out that on average, it's going to take you guys and gals between 7 and 14 touches to get a customer or client across the line. Between 7 and 14 touches as a bare minimum. Well, let's have a look at this. Someone connects with John on LinkedIn, 1 touch. Go to his lead capture gateway, 2 touch. Hits the diagnostic, 3 touch. Books the meeting, 4 touch. Maybe they don't. Maybe that's the 4 touch. 5th touch, 6th touch, 7 touch. Either way, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 touches before you even have a conversation with the person. Now, this here is an example of automation, and I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back to this because what we want to do is that we want to do a little bit of prompt stitching on how to create a lead grabbing cheat sheet, a lead magnet in 5 simple steps. But before I do that, who wants to see an example of this, this particular sequence in action? Who wants to see an example? Because as I talk through this, it is fairly high level, isn't it? It does seem fairly abstract. I've got this picture on the screen. It's got a bunch of grids. I'm trying to bring it back to your world by talking about how John brought someone into his world with his gift. They went through a process. But how does this look when we're working with a real person in the real world? Well, this is an example of a lead capture gateway. It's an example of a landing page. And I got to tell you guys and gals, this particular style of landing page is crushing it. It's completely out converting all the different landing pages that we've built on all the different tools, on ClickFunnels and Unbounce and lead pages and all these different tools. This particular model is crushing it. And I think it's crushing it for a couple different reasons. One is because there are no distractions. There are no distractions. There's nothing else on the page. It's very clear what it is that the customer or client is going to get, what your future customer or client is going to get. They're going to get this thing, right? Which is a fully booked 10-day challenge roadmap. Very clear what it is that we're doing here. How to book more conversations with very interested prospects. There's the outcome that the person's seeking. One person, one problem, one product. What do they want? They want more meetings with very interested prospects. So it's very clear. But what's in it for me is very clear. There are no distractions, none at all. And then it opens, are you ready? This is some secret sauce. It opens with a no-brainer. What best describes your situation? Most sales just happen online. That doesn't match that. Most new client relationships start with a conversation. That exactly matches that. We mostly just take most orders over the phone. It doesn't. How to book more conversations with very interested prospects. Everyone that sees this clicks that. Why did we have such a dumb question? There was no point to that question. Or was there? We had that question because I clicked the button and it just happened. I clicked the button and it went bam, and it just went to the next page. Now that I've started, I'm more likely than not to complete the form. It can ask some questions. I'm the business owner. My turnover is more than 15K. It's asking all these important questions. It's asking very low level barrier questions before it asks for the hard stuff, first name, last name, email address. Now, the tool that I'm using for this is a tool called B2B-io. And I'm more than happy to give you a little bit of a walkthrough in that a little bit. I'll even show you the stats on how these pages are converting behind the scenes if we have time. Wham, bam, shazam. Let's pre-qualify the lead. Great, you have unlocked a one-time only invitation. Get a one-on-one fully booked mapping session for free. Okay, guys and gals, this is an example of an AWP, an appointment with purpose. It's not a vague invitation to catch up. It's a 45-minute session with a member of our crew so we can get fully booked, and we're going to do a mapping session. What type of business do you have? Let me have a look here. What have we got here? I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do this one. Now, this is a pre-qualification process, and I'm being careful because I don't necessarily want to disqualify myself. Now, this has not asked for the first name, last name, email address again because it doesn't need to. It's already collected that information, even though I'm actually completing a different form. I'm from Australia. And do I show up? Yes, I do. All right. Another little bit of secret sauce, guys and gals. I'm not saying, do you want to book the 45-minute call? Yes or no. Then it's either a yes or no scenario. Here I'm saying, do you want to book a 45-minute call or a 15-minute call? I'm giving the prospect a choice. So it's not yes or no, it's either or. I'm going to click this one, 45, that's what I want. And now I'm being redirected to a booking form where I can book a time with John that works for me, that works for him. I can look at his availability. I can put my details in. I am not going to book a time with John right now because I don't want to clog up his diary with unwanted meetings. The guy is busy enough as it is. Now, of course, let's have a look at this. When I took that first step, someone got the message on LinkedIn, or maybe it was a partner, maybe it was SEO, or maybe it was some ads, maybe it was something on my website where I offered that free resource. They went to my lead capture gateway. They completed the diagnostic. They were given the opportunity to book a call. Of course, behind the scenes, the promise gift is being, the promise email, which is the gift, is being sent to me immediately. And then in a short period of time, they'll get the welcome and the offer. And that is a sequence of emails. Cool, huh? So from a human's perspective, it's an extremely intuitive experience, yes? It's just, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, I want that. And as they work through the process, we are answering that question, what's in it for me, at every step of the way. Once again, systems equals sanity. Technology is just technology. It's not going to help you without the fundamentals. Prompt stitch number 2, how to create a lead grabbing cheat sheet in 5 simple steps. Are you excited, guys and girls? Are you excited, guys and girls? I am. Here's a hot tip about cheat sheets. You ready? Now, we all know this about lead magnets. We call them a cheat sheet because lead magnet sounds a bit boring. An ebook sounds boring. A white paper sounds a bit boring. We use all these expressions like playbook and roadmap and blueprint and cheat sheet as our lead magnets because they're that little bit more exciting, yeah? You and I know this. Most lead magnets are garbage. You know this, right? You've been out there, you've looked at them, and we have people that come into our world and they say, yeah, but do lead magnets really, really work? Do they actually work? And we say, how did you enter our world? And I go, oh, yeah. Here's the hot tip about lead magnets. Killer lead magnets tackle the headaches that your clients have before they know they need you. And the key word here is before they know they need you. They're not about what you do. They're not about your products and services. They're about the headaches that the clients have before they know they need you. And this is a really hard thing for most people to wrap their brains around. If you're not thinking this way, what invariably happens is you end up creating a lead magnet, which is 5 reasons why you should hire me, right? Always the way. So I want you to be thinking about this hot tip. We've got our 5 prompts, including the money prompt. Let's get into it. All right, let's go back to ChatGPT. Now I'm going to start a brand new chat here. I'm going to start a brand new chat. Guys and girls, tell me once again, can you see what I see? Can you see what's on the screen right now? Can you see that? Because I need to know, otherwise I launch into a new bit of the conversation and you're going, we're seeing the wrong stuff. All right, this is great. All right, good. You can all see it. That's terrific. All right, I'm going to start with my first prompt. Remember 3 Ps, one person, one problem, one product. If I'm a what you do, and if my target audience are blah, what are their 5 top business headaches? Now, with the AWP, we largely talked about outcomes. Now let's reframe this and talk about headaches, because at the top of the funnel, your customers and clients have headaches before they know they need you. They haven't yet joined the dots about how their headaches and what you do connect. All right. What do you guys and gals do again? Somebody tell me what it is that you do. Let's try and bring this back to someone on the call. I did see someone say that they were a business coach. So let's have a look at this. Business coach. If I'm a business coach and if my target audience are taxidermists, OMG. All right. If I'm a business coach and if my target audience are taxidermists, what are their top 5 headaches? All right. Did you get the prompt? Did you get the prompt? If I'm what you do, and if my target audience, what are their top 5 business headaches? All right, let's do this. Marketing and branding. Most taxidermists struggle with promoting their business. I'm sure they do. Sales and customer service. And let's have a look. It's going through some really common things. Pricing and profitability, inventory management, time efficiency, a bunch of different things there. So there's 5 things. They're pretty common, aren't they? They're pretty common, aren't they? But what you might notice is that because we've named the target audience, ChatGTP has framed something that's really common to everyone into the life of the target audience. They find the time challenging, especially if they're working on multiple projects at once. They may need guidance on how to prioritize tasks and streamline their workflow to increase productivity. Taxidermists work on multiple products at once. Can you see that? All right, let's have a look at this. Please transform the above 5 business headaches into 15 attention-grabbing headlines that include the words how to. There is a distinction between opinions and instruction. Once again, killer lead magnets provide instruction. They help people go from A to B. They address the headaches that they have before they know they need you. Opinions are worthless. Instruction is priceless. We want to help our people with some opinions. Now, how to build a strong brand identity, how to use social media to promote your taxidermy, how to develop a marketing plan, how to close more sales, how to improve customer satisfaction and loyalty, how to provide exceptional customer service, the right prices, profitability, inventory systems for tax efficiency, productivity. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at one of these ones. Guys and girls, which one do you think would be the most likely to appeal to the taxidermists? Taxidermies, I don't know why I wrote that, but they're not my target audience. But however, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this one. Loyalty, repeat business. And I'm going to throw this one in. Please provide 5 alternatives to this headline: how to improve customer satisfaction and loyalty in your taxidermy business. Use emotive, visceral language. See what we get. The ultimate guide to delighting your taxidermy clients. Build unbreakable bonds with your customers. Transform your taxidermy machine. All right, okay. Now, this is not one of my prompts, but I'm gonna write, try again with some taxidermy related puns, jokes, or wordplay. And let's see what we get. Unfortunately, I can't make this any bigger. I'll go back to the slides. Don't let your customers bolt. How to keep them coming back to your taxidermy shop. The art of stuffing more than just animals. How to stuff your taxidermy clients with happiness. The secret to taxidermy success is all about making your customers perfectly satisfied. All right. Don't be a dead end. How to create a lively customer experience. All right. I'm going to take two. I'm going to take a couple of different ones. Are you ready? All right. This is the money. This is the money prompt. Are you ready for the money prompt? All right. This is the money prompt. I'm going to paste this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part of the headline, the art of stuffing more than just animals. And then I'm going to take another half, something that was, where is it? The ultimate guide to delighting your taxidermy. So this is where us as humans, we need to step in. So what was the challenge that they originally had? It was, all right, here we go. That's something a little bit more straightforward. Okay. All right, so let me have a look at this. Please transform this headline, the art of stuffing more than just animals, how to improve customer satisfaction and loyalty in your taxidermy business, into a report, 1,200 to 1,800 words, featuring a headline, an introduction, an index, 5 tactics, and a conclusion. Each tactic should feature 3 parts, a paragraph summarizing the tactic, a 5-step action list, and a recommendation. Yes, guys and gals, this is the money prompt. Sure. Here's an example. Guys and girls, what is happening right now is that ChatGPT is writing me an entire report, an entire cheat sheet, an entire lead magnet. There we go. We've got our introduction. As a taxidermist, you know that preserving and mounting animals is an art form. But there's always the but. Here's the index. Tactic 1, communicate effectively. 5-step action list. Recommendation. Step 2, action list. Recommendation. Karen has just wrote, holy shit, Dios mío, says Carlos. Mind-blowing, says Damien. All right, I'm going to let that do its thing. It can happen behind the scenes. Now, sometimes if too much is going on, what number are we up to? Technique number 3, it stops and it stalls. This is the tokens. And I'm just going to write keep going. And it will continue for me. Can you see that? Share your story. All right, it just stopped. So it's worthwhile keeping an eye on it. Tactic number 4, it's going to finish it up for me. Aaron says, I'm going to switch to targeting taxidermists. This is awesome, says Julie. I hope so. Once again, likely to inspire awe. I do want it to get to the conclusion because it often creates a nice little neat conclusion, which I love. It's like a bookend, an introduction and a conclusion at the end. And then you'd put your bio and maybe a call to action, maybe invite your next customer or client to book a meeting with you. All right, conclusion. There's the conclusion. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So those were the 5 prompts. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to pull out your phone and take a photo of the screen right now. You saw how it was done. If you haven't participated yet, you're not going to get the prompts, the prompt stitching cheat sheet. You're not going to get the paid for pitch planner. You're not going to get any of those things. So the best that I can do for you is to take a photo right now. If you have not left a comment, John's written Ripper, Tammy's written wow, you can do that and I'll make sure that you get it. All right, cool. Now that there is, let me have a look here. That there was the outcomes, the headaches. The best of these things tackle the headaches that they have before they know they need you. Alternatively, you can run it as outcomes. I don't believe that the outcome-focused prompts work out as well as the headaches, but killing it right now are time sappers. It's a little bit harder to come up with a time-sapping headline, but those are my prompts for time sappers. You want to see some examples? I want to give a shout out to a bunch of people, some of my B2B Blazers, that have been working through a program together with me, something called our B2B Blazers Content Production Posse. And what we did is we worked together to create a whole bunch of really cool stuff, working through this particular process. This is the type of experience that you get when you sign up to our world. You get access to things that you might not otherwise even know exist. So for example, this is Barry here. Barry has created, let's have a look. Barry has created How to Stand Out in a Crowded Field, a guide for executives and resources. He's turned that into a banner, which means that he can put this banner at the top of his lead capture gateway, How to Stand Out in a Crowded Field, a guide for executives. He's even got the cheat sheet. I want you to pay attention to the format of the cheat sheet. Have a look at the format. Let's go right to the top. There's our headline. There's our first page with our introduction and our index. There is our lesson with an action, or sometimes a lesson with more than one action. I'm sure he's got a bio at the bottom, demonstrate what a smart and cluey guy is and how he can help. Let's have a look at Louise here. Let's have a look at a cheat sheet for Louise. Stop sweating over difficult conversations. That's the headache that her clients have before they know they need you. And you'll notice that the format is fairly similar. It's a format that works. It's a way to transform your vague, opinionated pieces of BS, no offense, into something that's of high value to your target audience because it provides instruction. You know what? Louise has gone one step further as well, again, because she has created a do you qualify for a manager to lead a mapping call. So someone comes into her world because they want, what do they want? Stop sweating over difficult conversations. They want that. They slide into her world in an automated way and then become her clients. Anyway, I wanted to give you a shout out to my content production posse. I see you guys beavering away behind the scenes. Each of you working at your own pace, which is great. Working through the process, and that folder is just filling up with amazing stuff. Woohoo!